Graduation season is quickly approaching, and many people will be trying to book those large party reservations at local restaurants. But it's not as easy as it used to be. Our Greg Payne shows us how some restaurants are making sure those large reservations don't result in a loss of business.
We see about 60 to 70% of them fail within the first 3 years. It is a tough business.
Ben Fletcher, the Senior Vice President of Strategy and Engagement for the Pennsylvania Restaurant and Lodging Association, knows all about the ins and outs of the restaurant industry, previously owning several spots around the city.
And we talk about butts in seats, right? And we need that all the time.
Which is part of the reason restaurants are laying down strict guidelines to ensure the large party reservations are making it into those seats. At Amina Restaurant in Old City, large parties must call the restaurant to book, and they don't allow parties of more than 10 from Friday to Sunday.
When they don't show up, you're forced with people who may have already tried to book, turning away walk-ins that could have possibly sat at the table. So then you're at a loss because you're losing revenue each way.
A tough scenario that William Molson at Cuba Libre in Old City has had to deal with in regards to large groups.
Because the restaurant is, having that party and taking some risk on holding that reservation, they're asking guests to give a little bit more of a commitment to make sure that they will arrive for their party and on time.
A commitment that Taylor Carmichael, an employee at Fox 29, had to deal with recently when trying to book a reservation for a party of 8 at a restaurant in New Jersey.
I needed to have a $1,000 deposit and I needed to sign a contract. And of course, when I first heard that, I was not doing that, especially for 8 people.
You may see deposits per person, anywhere from $25 to $100 either deposit per person. Sometimes you'll see folks just want to hold a credit card. So it's just a precaution for these folks.
Which restaurant officials have some advice for parties that may help them get in and eating a little smoother.
If possible, go on an off night. 8 o'clock on Saturday night, everybody wants to dine that night. If you're a large party, maybe you go to the restaurant at 5 o'clock, or maybe you go a little bit later.
Call and be courteous that if things change in terms of decreasing numbers, call and let the restaurant know so we can plan accordingly.
As for those booking the reservations,
for just someone like me, just make sure you have more options and just make sure you again, don't get discouraged.
Reporting in Old City, I'm Greg Payne, Fox 29 News.